In the summer of 2021, while the world was still masked, anxious, and scrolling through chaos, an old man drove alone into the high desert of New Mexico. No entourage, no publicist, no fanfare. Just a pickup truck, a thermos of black coffee, and a script titled Cry Macho. He was 91 years old, and he was about to direct what might be his final film, often as the only person on set. This isn't a story about fame. It's about showing up. When no one's watching, when no one cares, when your body says stop, but your soul says one more day. I'm Your Name, and this is Buzz of Legends, where we find the truth in the quiet moments. Cry Macho is a small story, a simple one. Mike Milo, a broken-down rodeo star, fired, divorced, drowning in regret, is hired to bring a 13-year-old boy back from Mexico. Along the way, they heal each other. Not with speeches, not with action, but with silence, shared meals, and small acts of care. Sound familiar? Eastwood first read the novel in 1988. He tried to make it then, with Arnold Schwarzenegger, as Mike. It fell apart. For 33 years it sat in his drawer. Then, in 2020, at age 90, he read it again. And this time, it spoke to him. I finally understood Mike. He's not a hero. He's a man who wasted his best years chasing the wrong things and gets one last chance to do something decent. This wasn't just a film. It was a reckoning, a mirror, and maybe a farewell. Filming began in June 2021 near Albuquerque. But this wasn't Million Dollar Baby. No massive crew. No trailers lined up like a city. Because of pandemic restrictions, Eastwood insisted on a skeleton crew, sometimes as few as 5 people. And on many mornings, he was the only one there. Local ranchers told reporters they'd see him before dawn, walking the perimeter of the location, checking where the sun would hit at 7 a.m., testing sightlines with his own eyes. One morning, the camera operator was delayed by a flat tire. Eastwood didn't cancel. He set up the tripod himself, framed the shot, and waited. When the crew finally arrived, he was already rehearsing lines. With a cactus. He'd say, "Let's try it this way," and just do it. No fuss, no ego, like he'd been doing it since the world began. He refused a director's chair, sat on a cooler instead. Carried his own water, fixed a broken dolly wheel with duct tape and a pocket knife. At 91 he moved slower, but never less sure. On screen, Eastwood plays Mike Milo, a man haunted by failure, trying to be better too late. But off screen, he was living it. His back ached from old injuries. He wore a discreet hearing aid. And yes, he used a cane between takes, but never on camera. If the character doesn't need it, he told the crew, I don't need it. His co-star, 13-year-old Eduardo Minette, had never acted before. Eastwood didn't give him direction like a director. He gave it like a grandfather. Don't act sad, just think about your dog back home. When you look at me, don't see a star. See a tired old man who needs your help. The result? One of the most natural child performances in years. Eastwood shot that scene in 2 takes. First take, too stiff. Second take, perfect. He knew. He always knows. People assume legends need spectacle, but Eastwood has always believed in less. Less dialogue, less music, less crew, less ego. On Cry Macho, he cut scenes that felt too dramatic. He removed a chase sequence, because real life doesn't have chases. He even fought the studio to keep the rooster, Macho, in the film. The rooster isn't comic relief, he said. He's the soul of the story. He's got nothing, but he struts like he owns the world. This was Eastwood's filmmaking stripped bare, like a desert at dawn. No tricks, no noise, just truth, framed in wide shots and silence. Because after 60 years behind the camera, he finally had nothing left to prove. Only something left to say. The last day of shooting was August 12, 2021. Scene. Mike drops the boy off at his mother's house. No big goodbye, just a nod, a handshake, and Mike drives off alone down a dirt road. Eastwood did his own driving. No stunt double, no safety rig. Just him, an old truck, and 10 miles of empty road. When he returned, the small crew, 12 people total, gave him a quiet round of applause. He tipped his hat, shook every hand, said, "Thank you for your work." Then he got in his truck and drove away. No party, no speeches, no end of an era headlines. Just a man finishing his day's work, like he had for 70 years. Cry Macho opened in September 2021 to modest box office and mixed reviews. Some called it sentimental. Others said he should have retired after Gran Torino. But they missed the point. This film wasn't made for critics. It wasn't made for awards. It was made because Clint Eastwood still had something to give. Not as a star, but as a craftsman. As a man who believes that dignity is found in the doing, not the applause. At 92, he could have rested. But he chose to rise at 5 a.m., drive into the dust, and create something honest. That's not just discipline. That's grace. If this story of quiet courage moved you, please like, subscribe, and join us at Buzz of Legends, where we honor not just what legends did, but how they lived. Next time, the women who shaped Clint Eastwood, from Sandra Locke to Christina Sendera. Until then, remember, the greatest legends don't roar. They show up, they work, and when it's done, they drive off into the quiet.